Hi everyone, I got to vent about something, but before I do that, today is May 30th. The raffle to win my Starcaster guitar by pre-ordering my new album Little Chaos ends tonight. There's not an exact time that I'm cutting it off, but basically I'm making the album live right around midnight or so, and you basically have until then to pre-order. There could be some wiggle room, but you got to get it in if you're interested. So pre-order the album on Bandcamp. The link is down below. Check it out, and you can win this or my Squire Telly Deluxe that I had in a video recently as well. All right, rant. I buy and sell a lot of items, and a lot of times when I buy an item, whether it's on Reverb or eBay or one of those, usually one of those services, but sometimes others, I will almost immediately get a notification saying that your item is shipped and it's ready to go. And I know what that means. I know that these people are using the service that, or most of the time, they're using a service that provider has where you can ship directly through them. So like Reverb has a thing where like, oh, just tell us the dimensions and the weight of the package and you can just use our shipping and we'll automatically provide a tracking number, send it to the buyer, and you're good to go. Now that shows that the item is shipped at that point. And that's all well and good, but a lot of times that tracking number will not update, and that's because it has not either been dropped off at a post office or something like that, or it will not have been picked up. And for example, I bought a package, or I bought an item on the 25th through Reverb, and that's exactly what happened. Within like a half an hour, someone had immediately said, oh, yep, your item is shipped. Perfect. And I saw it right there. I looked at the tracking number and it said, a tracking number has been created. We are waiting for the package to be picked up or brought to us so we can process it further, basically. And I waited. And now the next day, the 26th, I believe was Sunday. So, there's no post on Sunday usually. And then Monday was Memorial Day. So I was very charitable and not expecting the package to move at that point. Now, Tuesday came and went. Wednesday was nearly over, and I'm checking the tracking number, and it still has not updated. And I'm like, what's going on? So I messaged the seller, and this has happened to me more than once. They said, oh, yeah, we actually did ship the item. It shipped the same day that you bought it. But for whatever reason, the USPS hasn't updated. That happens sometimes. They're not very good at their jobs, and the tracking should update eventually. And he said something along the lines of like, there is tracking on the package just in case anything, or not tracking, insurance on the package in case something happens. And I had to call bullshit. I had to, because I ship a lot of items. I've bought a lot of items. I know that as soon as you give this item to the post office or to USPS or not, UPS or FedEx, they have to scan it to say it's been picked up. And it updates almost immediately, within a few minutes usually. And so with all the business that I've done in, my adult life, the last 15 years or so, and not only that, from my personal life, I've worked in retail spaces before. I've worked in receiving and shipping spaces before, where I see a lot of tracking numbers. I see how they update. Like, I know how this goes. I'm not stupid. I'm very familiar with it. And the amount of people that I have to call out and say, you're full of shit. Like, you waited 5 days to ship my item that should have been realistically, it should have gone out Tuesday, and that's not a huge deal, but just the fact that I was very obviously lied to. Like, just take ownership of it. Maybe don't immediately give me the tracking number and say it shipped, because a lot of these places will immediately give the money that's paid right to these people as soon as a tracking number is given. That's how a lot of these things work, and it really bothers me when people just blatantly lie about that. So sure enough, I complained to this person, and all I said was, when are you going to ship my item? This was Wednesday night, and so they gave me their whole spiel, and what do you know, later that night, the tracking number magically updated, saying that it was accepted at by like the provider or whatever. And I know what that means. That means that the people there finally got the item, because they don't do anything with the packages until or without scanning it. That's how it works. So I had to say something, and I responded just a little while ago, and I'm like, it's funny that the tracking number only now updated after I said something, you know? And not only that, but you're saying that it actually shipped on Saturday, 5 days ago now, and it says that it is still in the state that you are claiming to be from. So that's weird too, isn't it? You know, if 5 days of shipping, you would think that it would at least have moved across state lines at that point, not still be in the state that you're saying you operate out of. Total BS, and I'm tired of it. It's not cool. Don't do it. Own up to it. You know, there was another person that I bought something from, and I waited like over a week before I said anything, and they did the same thing. Immediately gave me a tracking number, and it didn't go anywhere. And so I had to say something. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm giving you a very lenient timeline here, but I'm waiting for my packages that I'm not getting. What's going on? And the guy claimed that he was having family issues or something. So I'm like, well, that's fine. Like, I'm completely understandable, but you know, you're still doing business with people. You know, you at least have the courtesy to say, hey, I'm sorry. You know, there's going to be a delay. Don't wait for me to come to you in order to get some sort of resolution. You know what I mean? Really, really bothers me to no end. I had to say something. I'm sure many of you people watching have dealt with similar situations, and I'd be curious to hear your stories. So that's all I have to say. Like I mentioned at the beginning, don't forget about this raffle closing very, very, very soon. And not only that, I'm really excited for you guys to hear the new album. These songs have been cooking for like 20 years almost. Some of them I mean, all of them I'm just very proud of, and can't say enough about it. So be sure to check it out. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Later.